Older men and their natural charisma, the change in daily life. As you get older, you'll start to notice a big shift in how people perceive you and how you view the world around you. Older men often simply move through their daily routines, walking down the street, grocery shopping, or sipping coffee at a familiar cafe. Each action reflects a piece of the calm and maturity that they carry with them. However, in these seemingly mundane moments, they may find themselves receiving an unexpected gesture, a smile from a younger woman. For many older men, this can be a moment of self-reflection. Did she smile at me? A seemingly simple act, but one that carries a deeper meaning about how they are perceived by the world around them. For many, that smile may not seem significant, just a polite gesture. But the truth is, that smile often carries a much stronger message than you might think. It's not just about kindness or politeness. There's a deeper reason why she smiled like that. In today's video from Homem de Virtudes, we'll reveal the true reason why a younger woman might smile at an older man. And I promise you, it's not what you think. Silent confidence, the key to attraction. One of the main reasons younger women smile at older men is because of the silent confidence they exude. It's not just superficial confidence, it's a calm, secure energy that comes from within. Older men don't need to try hard to prove themselves. They don't need flashy clothes, nor do they need to assert power or status through actions. Their presence is the strongest statement they can make. What makes them so attractive is their inner peace, gained from years of life experience. Younger women immediately sense this confidence, and it's the type of attraction they seek. When you don't feel the need to prove yourself to anyone, you've achieved something many others can't. A simple smile from a younger woman could very well be an acknowledgement of silent admiration. The presence of mature men. The presence of a mature man isn't just about age. It's about how you occupy space, how you walk, and how you observe the world around you. Younger women often notice that an older man lives differently. He may not speak much, but every action he takes sends a strong message of maturity and a deep understanding of life. Women notice this quiet strength and realize that the wisdom of a mature man is something that can only come with time. There's no rush, no signs of stress, just confidence built from years of living and learning. It's this very silence that makes the connection between two people even stronger. Natural authenticity, simple yet captivating. Another reason younger women are drawn to older men is their natural authenticity. Older men don't feel the need to impress anyone. They don't have to change themselves to meet societal standards or try to please others. They simply are who they are, and that's what makes them so attractive. This doesn't mean that older men are perfect. However, the comfort they have with themselves is a key trait that women often seek. When a younger woman smiles at an older man, it could be her way of acknowledging the positive energy he exudes. It's a recognition that he has a lifestyle she admires and values, expanding on confidence and attraction. To expand on this, we can dive deeper into the aspects of quiet confidence and how it becomes the main factor driving attraction in older men. This can include real-life stories, psychological research, and examples from the everyday lives of older men who have found confidence within themselves despite changes in their appearance or health over time. The reality and journey of self-awareness for older men, perception from a younger woman. Women, especially younger ones, often have a different perspective when it comes to evaluating older men. For them, attraction doesn't just come from looks or health. It's about what that man has experienced in life. Life experience, maturity in thought, and a deep understanding of the world around him are crucial factors that a woman notices. It's no surprise that many women are drawn to older men, not just because of their looks, but because of what they exude in terms of confidence and emotional stability. One woman shared that she always felt safe and comfortable talking to an older man. It wasn't because he had fancy words or fleeting charm, but because he knew how to listen, share without rushing, and always had profound insights about life. This is something that younger men just can't replicate. Exploring other aspects of attraction, over time, older men develop a lifestyle that few can imitate. No longer concerned with the rush of what should I do to impress, they begin to live freely, unburdened by the fear of what others think. When you reach this stage, you become naturally attractive, not because you're trying to impress anyone, but because you've learned to love yourself and are comfortable with the person you truly are. A man's story, embracing confidence after 50. One man shared that, when he entered his 50s, he stopped caring about building an image to please others. He started focusing on himself, taking care of his health, and investing in what truly mattered to him. It was during this time that he felt more attractive than ever, not because of his appearance, but because of the confidence and wisdom he carried. The quiet strength of maturity. Another element that makes older men so attractive is the quiet strength that comes with maturity. When we're younger, we often live in a rush, restless to prove ourselves to the world. But as you grow older, you learn how to slow down, listen more, and feel deeper. This quiet isn't a silence without words. It's a peacefulness that comes from within, from everything you've experienced and learned along the way. Older men don't need to say much for others to know they understand. How they live, how they observe the world around them, it all speaks volumes about the maturity and wisdom that only time can bring. It's this stillness that creates a powerful attraction because, in a noisy world, their silence becomes something rare and valuable. Building meaningful relationships between older men and younger women aren't just about sexual or superficial attraction. They are a deep spiritual connection that many younger people might not easily recognize. Women often find comfort and safety in older men because they don't have to worry about the restlessness or uncertainty that many younger men bring. An interesting story comes from a 28-year-old woman who shared her experience of meeting an older man at a friend's gathering. From the very first conversation, she felt the calmness and maturity in how he spoke, which made her feel truly heard and valued. While she never thought she'd be attracted to an older man, his composure and self-assurance made her reconsider. Next up, discovering the attraction of older men and real-life stories. In the next part, we'll dive into real stories from women who have had relationships with older men. These stories will give a clearer picture of the allure of mature men, not just in terms of appearance, but in how they build relationships and influence the lives of those around them. We'll also explore psychological research on attraction across ages, shedding light on why older men have such a unique pull for women. This attraction isn't just about looks or age. It's about the intelligence, experiences, and maturity they bring to the table. Moving into inner qualities and the reality of life for older men. Inner qualities and life experience of older men. When an older man enters the life of a younger woman, the attraction doesn't just stem from what he can offer physically or materially. In fact, much of this attraction comes from the mental and emotional aspects, the values he has accumulated over the years. It's a blend of intelligence, quietude, and the ability to listen, qualities that few younger men can offer. A 35-year-old woman shared that she felt truly respected and at ease when talking with an older man. He wasn't in a rush, there was no competition, and none of the restlessness that comes with youth. Instead, he created a calm, understanding space where she felt she could speak freely without judgment or criticism. This shows that an older man is not only attractive because of his confidence, but also due to his depth of understanding and ability to build a meaningful spiritual connection. Women realize that when they're with a mature man, they don't have to worry about proving anything or pleasing anyone because they are loved and respected for who they truly are. The importance of self-care. Regardless of age, self-care remains a crucial factor in maintaining a man's attractiveness. Self-care isn't just about going to the gym or maintaining outward appearance. It's about sustaining a healthy mental state and living a life with purpose. Older men often prioritize their physical and mental health, and this not only helps them live longer, but also makes them more attractive to those around them. There's an interesting story about a 60-year-old man named James who spent many years working hard and neglecting his health. However, at 55, he realized he could no longer ignore his health. He started practicing yoga, walking daily, and following a healthy diet. What's remarkable is that James didn't just improve his health. This transformation made him more attractive to the women around him, who began to notice his self-care and awareness of living a healthy lifestyle. Attraction through intelligence and life experience. One of the key factors that make older men attractive is their intelligence and life experience. These men have gone through many ups and downs in life, from failures to successes, and have learned how to face challenges with calmness and wisdom. Women notice this instantly, and it's this very quality that makes them so appealing. A prime example is the story of an older man named Thomas, who built his career from the ground up. When he was younger, Thomas faced many challenges, from losing jobs to struggling with business ventures. However, he never gave up and found ways to overcome each obstacle. His perseverance and ability to face hardship helped Thomas become not only successful, but also incredibly attractive to younger women, because he demonstrated a deep understanding of life, wisdom that only time could provide. Freedom in life and the perception of age. One of the most common misconceptions many older men have is that age makes them less attractive. But the truth is, age is not a limitation, it's an honor. When you embrace your age, not only do you become more mature, but you also become freer in the way you live. There's an interesting story from a 65-year-old man named Peter. Peter has lived his life freely, not bound by the expectations or limits that society places on older people. When asked how he feels about his age, Peter shared that he feels more free and powerful than ever before. He no longer worries about the unimportant things, and that freedom makes him feel more attractive because he is living authentically. Next up, stories of special encounters. We'll continue to explore real-life stories, highlighting unique situations older men face in life and how they form meaningful relationships with younger women. These stories not only help us understand the natural charm that older men bring, but also offer valuable lessons in self-awareness, maturity, and building lasting connections. Final thoughts: maturity is a continuous process. Every older man has his own unique story of life and growth. These men don't just possess physical attraction. They also bring wisdom, experience, and emotional maturity. The true allure of mature men isn't in their outward appearance, but in their ability to live authentically and not be judged by society. Age isn't something that diminishes attractiveness. It's a vital part of shaping who you are. And when you accept yourself and live true to who you really are, you'll find that you not only become more attractive, but also live a life full of meaning and value. Building meaningful relationships and the importance of intelligence. Intelligence and lasting attraction. One of the key factors that makes older men attractive is the intelligence they've accumulated over the years. Unlike younger men, who are often still searching for themselves and dealing with confusion about their path in life, older men have faced many challenges and have found their own answers. Intelligence isn't just about what you learn. It's also about the mistakes and failures you've experienced. Older men who have overcome life's obstacles carry a deeper understanding of people, society, and human relationships. They know how to face difficulties and handle problems calmly and thoughtfully, which makes them incredibly attractive to women looking for stability and peace. Women often feel safe with older men because they've been through many trials and can guide them through life. The confidence and wisdom of a mature man isn't just shown in his words, but also in his actions and daily behavior. The importance of caring and listening, key elements of connection. When discussing the relationship between older men and younger women, we can't overlook the role of care and listening. Older men often communicate with a quiet confidence, not rushing to give advice or take action, but instead listening with deep understanding. This creates a safe and comfortable space where women feel respected and able to share their thoughts and feelings without fear of judgment or criticism. There's an interesting story about an older man named Richard who worked in the field of psychological counseling. Richard shared that throughout his career, he always focused on listening. He never rushed to give an answer, but patiently listened to others before offering any advice. Women, especially younger ones, always felt at ease and understood when around him because he had the ability to create a space where they could open up and express everything they felt. Building strong relationships. What makes them successful? Relationships between older men and younger women are often not just simple connections, but ones built on respect and deep emotional ties. For mature men, they don't just seek a simple romantic relationship. They long for a spiritual connection with their partner. They view love not as possession, but as sharing and understanding. A story from a 58-year-old man named John shares how he found peace in his relationship with a much younger woman. This relationship was built not only on love, but also on shared values and perspectives on life. John wasn't looking for someone to take care of him. He wanted someone who could share the life lessons and values he had accumulated over the years. The timeless qualities of older men. One of the qualities that ensures older men never lose their attraction is their independence and self-sufficiency. They no longer need to rely on others to validate their worth. This independence gives them an irresistible magnetism. They don't chase trends or societal expectations. They live in a way that feels true to themselves. Women are often drawn to these types of men because they can sense the stability and security he offers. Mature men can share a simple yet meaningful life where conversations go beyond the surface and are filled with stories of life, experiences, and lessons learned over the years. The perception from women about relationships with older men. A relationship with an older man is not like anything I've experienced with younger men, shared a 40-year-old woman. He not only makes me feel loved, but he also helps me understand myself better. Women often find that when they are with an older man, they not only find comfort, but also a sense of safety, respect, and understanding that can be hard to find in men their own age. The spiritual connection and self-care in life. Spiritual connection between older men and younger women. In a world where everything seems to be measured by material success, the relationship between an older man and a younger woman stems from something else, a spiritual connection. Women, particularly younger ones, are increasingly aware of the value of maturity in relationships. This is not simply about safety or protection, but also about sharing life experiences that only time can bring. A mature man knows how to listen and share without imposing his views, allowing his partner the freedom to express thoughts and emotions. This is a key factor that younger men often lack, the ability to create a space of comfort and respect in a relationship. Older men, having experienced many challenges, understand that mutual respect is the most important key in any relationship. A story from a 30-year-old woman married to an older man shows this. She shared, "He's not only my lover, but also someone I admire. He gives me the freedom to be myself, but he's always there when I need someone to listen and share." Self-care, an enduring attraction factor. Self-care is one of the crucial factors that helps older men maintain their attractiveness and health. However, self-care goes beyond physical exercise or maintaining appearance. It also includes taking care of one's mental and emotional well-being. An older man knows how to create a balanced life, make time for himself and his family, while keeping his mind sharp and clear. An interesting story about a 62-year-old man named David shows this. David had spent most of his life focused on work, neglecting his health. However, after a serious illness, he decided to change his habits and begin focusing on his health. He started attending yoga classes, running every morning, and learning how to meditate to relax his mind. This not only made him healthier, but also gave him a sense of confidence and attraction, especially in the eyes of women. When you take care of yourself, you not only improve your appearance, but also carry an undeniable magnetism. Independence and self-sufficiency, the inner appeal. Another crucial factor in the attraction of older men is their independence and self-sufficiency in life. As you mature, you begin to realize that freedom and independence in all aspects of life are invaluable. You no longer need to rely on others to feel confident or prove your worth. It is this independence that makes a man truly attractive, as women are always drawn to men who can live independently and without relying on others. A woman in her 40s shared, "I really admire older men who are financially and personally independent. Not only do they have control over their own lives, but they can also help and support others without feeling lacking. This independence is a strong attraction for me." Next up, facing challenges and embracing new opportunities with age. In the next section, we'll explore the challenges older men face, from physical and psychological changes to dealing with loneliness. However, we will also share inspiring stories about how older men can overcome these difficulties and find new opportunities in life. We will also dive deeper into the power of self-awareness and how a mature man can create change not only for himself but for those around him. Life is ever-changing, and an older man can continue to learn and grow, which gives him an eternal appeal. Moving forward, overcoming challenges and embracing new opportunities. We'll explore the challenges older men face in the modern world, from maintaining their health to adapting to new technology, and how they can navigate these obstacles with flexibility and deep understanding. Age isn't a barrier, it's an opportunity for growth, and older men know how to face these challenges and use them to enrich their life experiences. Challenges faced by older men and how to deal with them, physical changes and anti-aging. As a man enters middle age and beyond, physical changes are inevitable. However, one of the biggest challenges they face is the feeling of losing the youthfulness and energy they once had. This can cause some to feel insecure or anxious, especially when comparing themselves to younger people around them. However, these changes are not the end of their attraction. They are part of the maturity and life process. An interesting story comes from a 55-year-old man named David, who was once very self-conscious about his physical changes. When he started noticing his body wasn't the same as before, he decided not to let that affect his self-esteem. David began to change his lifestyle, exercised regularly, and followed a healthy diet. After some time, he not only felt healthier, but also noticed a shift in how people perceived him. David became attractive not just for his appearance, but for his strength and resilience when facing aging. The key here is acceptance and self-care, something older men learn over time. They no longer focus on maintaining the forever young image. Instead, they focus on confidence and feeling healthy inside, which makes them even more attractive. Loneliness and how to face it. One of the challenges that older men often face is loneliness. As they age, some may lose old relationships or no longer connect with their partners as they once did. This can create a sense of emptiness and lead to feelings of being less valuable in the eyes of others. However, mature men understand that loneliness does not diminish their appeal. On the contrary, they recognize that time alone can be an opportunity to rediscover themselves and find inner peace. One story comes from a 60-year-old man named John, who faced loneliness after his wife passed away. At first, he felt very lonely and isolated. But instead of sinking into his solitude, John decided to spend time on personal hobbies, learn new things, and engage in community activities. He not only overcame his loneliness, but also created a meaningful and joyful life. Loneliness can be a significant challenge, but if faced correctly, it can turn into an opportunity for growth and freedom. Older men can learn to become their own best friend, understanding that life is not just about having a partner, but also about creating satisfaction and happiness from within. Acceptance of reality and embracing the future. One of the biggest challenges older men face is accepting the realities of aging without feeling like they are losing their strength or attractiveness. However, when a mature man learns to accept and respect the changes in his body and mind, he finds a hidden strength that only time can bring. By changing their mindset and perception of aging, men realize that old age is not the end, but the beginning of a new journey. When they learn to live with acceptance and self-love, they become more attractive than ever, thanks to the confidence and calmness that age brings. Next up, the opportunities age brings and how to seize them. In the next part, we'll dive into how older men can seize new opportunities in life, from developing a career to building new relationships and pursuing new passions and hobbies. Age is not a barrier, but an opportunity to renew oneself and expand horizons. We will also share stories from older men who have rediscovered their passions and hobbies, creating rich and meaningful lives, proving that no age is too late to change and grow. Moving forward, discovering inspirational stories. To conclude this section, we'll focus on inspiring stories from older men who have overcome challenges in life, such as those who found new love, changed careers in their 50s, or became role models for younger generations. These stories will show that age is not the deciding factor. It is the attitude and determination of each individual. Opportunities and challenges when older men enter a new phase of life. Starting a new career, it's never too late. When it comes to changing careers at an older age, many might think that age is a major obstacle. However, in today's society, changing careers later in life is not uncommon. Older men, with their years of life and work experience, can offer perspectives and skills that younger people may not have. One inspiring story comes from David, a 58-year-old man who decided to leave the job he had held for 30 years and started learning computer programming. He shared that, although at first he was nervous about not keeping up with the younger crowd, his persistence and willingness to learn helped him succeed. He not only found a new passion for his work, but also built a promising new career. This story is a powerful testament that age is not the deciding factor when it comes to changing careers. When you have enough passion, patience, and a willingness to learn, it's never too late to start a new journey. Building new relationships, it's never too late. For many older men, one of the biggest challenges is building new relationships. After experiencing a marriage or multiple relationships in the past, opening up and starting a new relationship can be a significant challenge. However, one of the advantages of older men is their maturity and deep understanding of themselves and what they truly want in a relationship. For example, there's a story about Tom, a 65-year-old man who divorced his wife after 30 years of marriage. In the early days after the divorce, he felt lonely and uncertain about his ability to form a new relationship. However, after attending a communication and self-development course, he began to open up more to the women around him, not only seeking love, but also a spiritual connection. Tom met a wonderful woman, and they are now building a loving and understanding relationship together. Tom's story proves that no matter your age, a mature man can still find love and deep connection. The key is openness, confidence, and the ability to build relationships based on mutual respect and understanding. Self-care, the key to sustaining attractiveness. As men enter their 50s and 60s, maintaining a healthy lifestyle and taking care of themselves becomes crucial for both their health and attractiveness. Many older men, instead of worrying about physical changes, choose to invest in their health and maintain a balanced diet. Richard, a 55-year-old man, is a prime example. Richard had struggled with being overweight and felt drained from years of stressful work. After joining a fitness program and following a healthy eating regimen, he not only lost weight, but also felt more energetic. He began to feel more confident, and this change didn't just make him healthier, but also helped him realize the attractiveness he could radiate to those around him. This shows that self-care is not only about appearance, but also about maintaining a healthy mental and physical state. When you take care of yourself holistically, you not only become more attractive, but also lead a fuller and more satisfying life. The reality of aging and its impact on relationships. While age brings certain benefits, it also comes with significant challenges, especially in relationships. One of the factors older men need to face is the change in their ability to maintain romantic and emotional connections. The feeling of loneliness and the lack of emotional connections can lead many older men to feel like they are no longer as valuable or attractive as they once were. However, it is important to recognize that age does not determine attractiveness or the ability to love. Women are often attracted to older men who have maturity and an understanding of life. When you live with purpose and respect yourself, you will naturally build lasting and happy relationships. Michael, a 60-year-old man, offers a clear example of this. After he and his wife separated, he felt lost. However, after focusing on self-development and engaging in social activities, he met a woman with whom he shared similar values and life goals. They created a strong relationship, and Michael realized that age truly isn't a barrier. It's part of the journey of growth and love. The eternal appeal of older men. Throughout this discussion, we have delved deeply into the allure of older men, an attraction that is not just based on appearance, but also shaped by maturity, wisdom, and life experience. These mature men not only possess rich life experiences, but also bring timeless values such as confidence, quiet strength in communication, and the ability to build profound emotional connections with others. Silent confidence, self-awareness, and self-love are the key elements that create the enduring charm of older men. When they begin to live freely, no longer dependent on society or anyone else to validate their worth, they truly become the men younger women seek, not only for their physical attractiveness, but also for the wisdom and intelligence they offer. Age is not a barrier, but a key. Age, rather than being a limitation, is actually a key that unlocks new opportunities to learn, grow, and create meaningful relationships. Older men understand that life is constantly changing, and they can continue to find new opportunities, whether in their careers, love lives, or personal development. Each stage of life offers valuable lessons, and mature men understand that attraction comes not just from appearance, but from self-awareness and the ability to live authentically. When they live with purpose and perseverance, they not only maintain their allure, but also inspire those around them. Sustainable relationships built on respect and understanding. Older men also understand the value of sustainable relationships. They are not just seeking love for the sake of love, but rather a deep connection where mutual respect and the sharing of life values form a solid foundation. When a mature man builds a relationship, he not only offers care, but also shares his soul, his thoughts, and genuine feelings. The true allure of mature men is not perfection, but sincerity and the ability to form deep emotional connections with others, especially in romantic relationships. And when a man lives with self-awareness and self-respect, he will continue to attract women who appreciate maturity, wisdom, and the depth he brings. Conclusion. Finally, this article has shown that the attraction of older men is not just based on material factors or outward appearance, but on the maturity of their soul and understanding of life. These mature men, with their life experiences and deep wisdom, not only bring a sense of security, but also serve as ideal role models for younger generations. Age is not the end, but rather a part of the process of self-improvement. When you live with purpose and self-love, you will continue to be attractive and bring value not only to yourself, but also to those around you. I hope this article has provided you with a fresh perspective on the allure of older men and how they can continue to grow and build lasting relationships. The real-life stories and analysis presented here will certainly help you realize that, no matter your age, maturity and self-awareness are the keys to creating a meaningful and attractive life.